defense hearing for almost a year is not.
The 72-year-old, who is a farmer together with his daughter, hired 2 hitmen and agreed on a 2 million fee to eliminate the wife, 3 sons and a daughter. However, the killers, after pocketing 1.7 million shillings, approached the victims and revealed the murder plan before police were called in and arrested. The two, who appeared before Naivasha Principal Magistrate Wilson Rading, faced 4 other charges of planning to murder 4 other family members.
We also found out that the prosecution intends to withdraw charges against the second accused person, which is something that they can do under the law. It is allowed. However, for the victims, we have raised our objection to court, and the court has considered that objection and has given us until Monday next week, that is the 14th of October, when we will come back to court for a ruling on whether the charges against the second accused person will be withdrawn.
The State Counsel Lillian Mogoi told the court that they were seeking to arrest more suspects over the case, but planned to turn the second accused into a state witness. She told the court that after going through their statements, the state had decided to turn him into a state witness. The victims, through their lawyer Mbugwa Masharia, however, objected to this, noting that the second accused played a critical role in the planned murders. The suspect's lawyer, Edwin Jagi, however, termed the charges as trumped up after the main suspect parted ways with his wife over 20 years back.
The same family, whereby there are some children of Mzee Moya who have united to see to it that their father faces these charges. And it all boils down to some property that is belongs to one of the daughters of Mr. Moya. But as the time goes by, we'll be proving to ensuring to the court that indeed these are trumped up charges in an effort to frustrate him so that they will be able to let go that case of a property that is owned by one of the daughters. According to documents adduced in court, the plan started on the 1st of March when Muya and his daughter allegedly met the 2 killers in a hotel in Nakuru. They later settled for a fee of 2 million shillings and proceeded to get the cash through their father and daughter, totaling to 1.7 million shillings as the woman who lives in the US flew back.
Unfortunately, this case is about siblings. The suspects, the victims, the accused persons are all people of the same family. So there are 2 of them who the authorities are still in pursuit of. They are in the United States. Hopefully an arrest will be made and the case will be consolidated with theirs and proceeds with all of them as accused persons.
The hearing continues on 14th of October. Gertrude Burgay, K24 TV.
Elsewhere, the government plans to expand the school feeding program to reach 10 million students by 2030. According to Basic Education PS Belio Kipsang, the government is currently providing food to 3 million learners across 34 counties.
Speaking during the launch of Kenya's national chapter of the School Meals Coalition at the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, PS Kipsang announced that the government has tripled the budget for the program, increasing it from 2 billion to 6 billion for the 2023 financial year to ensure its success.
This has been running since 1980, and it has successfully supported so many young people to, one, as a pull factor to go to school, and therefore increased access. 2 is retention. And 3 is that it's been possible for these children to concentrate in their learning, given that they have had a meal.
The coalition launched today includes regional countries, UN bodies, government ministries and NGOs, all working together to ensure schools provide meals and to improve children's access to education.
More so, it has also affected so much the culture, because usually the first person to be pulled out of the class when we have food insecurity is our culture, because they'll be going out there supporting their households in looking for food.
In response to the growing impact of climate change globally and in Kenya, the ministry has called on schools and institutions to adopt climate-smart, clean cooking methods to combat environmental degradation.
We are now moving from the traditional ways in which we prepare this food into climate-smart ways in which we cook. Today, if you go to Nairobi School, we have a steam cooking system, which we are running away from firewood. We have one in Kwale. We have quite a number of schools now that are moving away from biomass.
The school feeding program was started in 1980 after the country was hit by a severe drought, with an initial 240,000 learners benefiting.
To focus more on what we call homegrown school meals program, where we aggregate food from the farmers into a central place and then buy this particular food for the farmer. So it will be both an economic empowerment to the local communities.
The program was started by the Ministry of Education with the support of the World Food Program to encourage enrollment and retention of children in school. Busara Naman, K24 TV.
The third IGAD CLIMSA high-level meeting on mainstreaming climate services in policies, development plans and programming entered the second day on Tuesday with an emphasis on focusing on the importance of climate services for the region. In Tuesday's ministerial session with finance ministers from the IGAD member states, the conversation was centered on the need for integration of climate services into national policies and development plans. In his remarks, IGAD Executive Secretary Dr. Woknehu Gebeyu, who was represented by IGAD Head of Mission Fatuma Aden, who noted IGAD is developing a regional framework for the climate services akin to what Kenya and Ethiopia have.
The socio-economic benefits of climate services cannot be overlooked. Historically, the provision of climate services have been closely associated with enhanced safety and efficiency in sectors such as land use, aviation, transport, and agriculture. Distinguished delegates, today these services are helping communities prepare for and respond to extreme weather events. They are facilitating better decision-making in sectors that are sensitive to weather conditions.
Impacts of climate change are felt most by our vulnerable populations, but they also carry significant physical implications for our governments. It is in this context that mainstreaming climate resilience, adaptation, and mitigation into the national budgets.
It remains the foremost challenge to sustainable development progress, particularly for African nations. Thus, climate-proofing policies, enhancing systems, ensuring availability of key data for decision-making, and building capacity are essential.
Well, that's just about it for K24 News. Thanks for making time for the segment. I'm Alan Owino. Our sign language interpreter for this session was Evelyn Wangoi. You have yourselves a lovely one.